it's almost like interior decorators. You need a painting with a lot of green in it because of the scheme of the whole living room. So I'm not sure what. Well, I don't know if she will remember where she actually, what she sold it to. But probably, he was just such a talent that he was hard to ignore.
You would say that he has a lot of qualities with Woody Allen because they're both doing like a lot of period films of New York, and how he breaks he tried to break a lot of the Hollywood traditions by talking to the camera a lot.
Yeah, I think so. He has a sense of humor, but Woody Allen, because he had such a gift for making people laugh. It was, he had an easier road to success in the film business. Like the film, like Do the Right Thing. I mean, I haven't seen all of his films, but I think Do the Right Thing has sort of a special place. Because it was, it was widely seen and widely, it was a little bit controversial.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you watch Inside Man? Yeah, it was with Clive Owen and Denzel Washington. Where Clive Owen robs a bank.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I thought it was very unlike. Yeah, I thought it was very unlike what he usually does. I thought it was a very good movie.
Well, it's like any really good director could have directed it.
Did you see the new one from Woody Allen? I think there is one new one.
A new Woody Allen film.
A new Woody Allen film.
Wonder Wheel?
Yeah,
Wonder
that's
Wheel.
right. Yeah.
It looks so good.
Did you see?
But I don't want
Did you watch?
I don't want to support it.
I read a lot of people talking about not.
It's not good.
Yeah, I've read that it's not. They say it's not a good film.
Oh.
But I haven't seen it. But and then coupled with his controversies, they just.
So he lost a lot of his woman fans, I guess.
I think they said Kate Winslet's in it. They said it's like.
Yeah.
What I've read, it's like the worst. They think the worst performance of her career.
What?
In this movie, yeah, that's what I've read.
Looks good.
I haven't read anything good about this.
She's so nice. She's so good.
I mean, usually she is, yeah. This is just what I've been reading about that.
That's why I wanted to see it, but I don't want to.
You gotta watch it for you so you can't.
Yeah. It was like in a huge article, but the person writing it obviously doesn't like him for his controversy, So they weren't really unbiased with it, but.
I love his movies.
And I don't think his, that I don't know. I don't want to defend him beyond, his, I don't know, that's what goes. All I can say is watching interaction between Woody and whatever, in the documentary Wild Man Blues, it made me realize, we don't know what, their relationship seemed a lot healthier than one. And not at all what one might imagine it was on the basis of some of his films. But then, there are other accusations. So what do you got? Right now, this is an incredible moment. in the history of American culture, when all of these figures, big, great figures in all kinds of fields are, falling like dominoes. And some people where I feel, well, I never liked that guy. And some cases where I did, and still do. Do you think that it's really, that this really marks a moment of real change, and it's never going to be the same again? Or
I don't know if men are suddenly going to change and just not try to do those things.
you don't think it matters?
I think it'll open the door for more diverse talent to like rise up now. But as far as the acts being committed, I don't see why men are gonna be any different. They'll just all right. This is what he did to get caught, or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because when men believe they could get away with it.
Yeah, maybe now, like, kids getting raised now, maybe the parents are going to raise them a different way. Because, like, when I read that Dustin Hoffman got accused, it's like, Dustin Hoffman, like, the Rain Man, you would never think. And it's like, he obviously must have been raised in such a way that, or maybe he just developed the sense as he was a celebrity that was like, well, I'm who I am, I'll just do it.
I can imagine Dustin.
You could imagine?
Yeah. Because of, there's, I think there's a part of what do I know? But a part of himself that his acting makes use of. It is a part of himself that feels inferior. I can, if I looked like him instead of looking like Cary Grant, I can imagine once he's rich and famous, that gives him a certain power, but I can imagine that in his adolescence he felt unattractive. And so when he has this power, and he thinks he can get away with it, I can imagine him being tempted to use that power. And the thing is that quality, that weakness, that limitation of his character is part of what he makes use of in some of his greatest performances, maybe all of his greatest performances. So I can imagine. So I don't know. So what are we supposed to do with? I think there are very few men of my generation, few men who have never in our lives done anything that if it came to light now would be at best very, very embarrassing. It's I could think of I don't want to think of it. And I'm glad in that respect close to an unguilty life, but not entirely. And anyway, everyone did. All men when I was growing up were, we felt we're supposed to, look at women as objects, but I don't even know necessarily what that means. Because if one is attracted to women by their beauty, is that good or is that bad? It depends on what beauty is, and also, anyway, so we're supposed to do that. So then, Jimmy Carter confessed to having lust in his heart. So is it okay to have lust in your heart if you don't put it into action and make advances? Because you never really know before you do it whether it's welcome or unwelcome. And it's really quite perplexing. Why if our society does change so that the behavior of men and women changes in that way, so that all sexual activity is by consent. How will that work? What will that mean?
You'll have to sign a contract.
Because people, it's not like we don't know what we want. So, no doesn't always mean no. But on the other hand, if we're all trained to accept that no really does mean no, then maybe then men and women will all change, so that instead of not knowing what we really want, maybe we'll have a better idea of what we really want. If we have to take responsibility for ourselves. I don't know, but it's it's speaking of the consequences of telling the truth or not telling the truth. A lot will depend on whether our president is held accountable for his, if he never tells the truth, never accepts responsibility for his actions, it will be like Nixon going to his death without telling the truth about the war in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. And the country will pay the price for it. Anyway, so with that cheerful. But this is a very interesting time.
It's a very interesting time.
Yeah. It's scary because it's, I think it is inevitable that eventually, the truth will come out, and eventually, whatever the human race will achieve an understanding of where our true interests lie. The question is whether it's a race against time. The question is whether whether by the time that happens, so many irreversible changes will be made that it'll be too late.
Yeah. That scares me.
And in terms of internet neutrality, that's another. You know, right now there are these mega mergers that look like they're going to happen, and you know what, the future of the internet, and with it, the future of the whole media enterprise is really up for grabs. Decisions are being made that really are changing the rules of the game. There's every reason to be, to suspect that, these changes will make things worse less free rather than more free. But I think nobody really knows what the consequences are going to be. So even if, changes are made with the worst of intentions, it won't necessarily mean that only bad things will come of it. Anyway. So, which I even cheerier for. So, any other questions or comments? Looking forward to reading your final papers.
I didn't receive, Professor, the other grades from the midterm.